Hi, my name is Christiana Adams and I'm on staff at North Point Ministries. For this project, I had to come up with an issue in the church and solve it. The first issue that came to my mind was the retention rate of students in Inside Out, our high school ministry from 9th to 12th grade. I think the big issue causing the retention rate to be so low is that Inside Out is too predictable and missable, causing the retention rate from students 9th through 12th grade to only be 30%. If you're not familiar with Inside Out, it is a part of North Point Ministries. It is the name over the high school ministry. There's 8 campuses and they all function the exact same. They meet every Sunday afternoon at 4:30. They meet about 40 of the 52 weeks in a year, and the messages are taught local each week from the campus. Now, I've been a part of North Point my entire life, from preschool all the way through college and even now. When I was a student, I attended Inside Out and I led an Inside Out small group while I was in college. As a student, my leaders changed almost every year, which is not the goal of Inside Out. By 12th grade, the girls in my group were almost entirely different than those I started with. And I also saw this trend while I was leading. I only had 2 of my almost 20 girls that stayed involved throughout all of high school. According to North Point Ministries database and the analytics team, 21,380 students have started 9th grade in the past 8 years. And of those students, only 14,571 of the initial 21,380 moved on to 10th grade. That's only 68% moving on to 10th grade. From 10th to 11th grade, only 9,603 of the initial 21,380 moved on to 11th grade. That's only 45%. And then from 11th to 12th grade, only 6,246 of the initial 21,380 moved on to 12th grade. That's only 30%. Now, these numbers include students who took a break. For example, if they started in 9th grade, left in 10th, and then returned in 11th or 12th, they're counted in the year they returned. These numbers also exclude students that started after 9th grade. And these numbers only include students who actually attended through 9th grade. The number is much larger if you look at students who attended through 8th grade and moved up to Inside Out in 9th grade, but never came. So these are just students who attended through 9th grade and kept attending. North Point operates under the impression that the most significant drop-off of students is from 10th to 11th grade because that is when students get their license. Their priorities change. However, the data presents a different conclusion. The most significant decline is from 9th to 10th grade. If we can keep students engaged throughout their freshman and sophomore years, the odds are way higher that they will stay involved throughout all of their high school careers. The problem with the retention rate of Inside Out is a simple concept. According to Dr. Gavin Adams, when something is missable, people will miss it. When a church is too predictable, it becomes missable. Inside Out is missable because students can just go next week and not miss anything. Alternatively, they can go next month or even next year and it'll be the exact same. There's nothing scarce or exclusive for each grade. Everyone 9th through 12th grade attends the same camps and the same retreats. There's a special night and retreat for seniors, but by senior year, only a fraction of the original students remains. The senior option is not enough to keep students engaged throughout the 3 years leading up to the senior retreat. This problem of retention rate of students does not exist nearly to the extent in North Point Ministries middle school ministry transit. During a student's 3 years in transit, they create scarcity and exclusivity whenever possible. 6th grade students, when they enter this environment in June, they go on a special retreat just for 6th graders called 6th grade camp. And then in 7th grade, 7th graders go to frequency weekend. Every student wants to go because it's their first time getting to go. And then in 8th grade, students also go to frequency weekend and every student wants to go because it's their last ever frequency weekend. And I think this is only part of the solution to fixing Inside Out, but I think creating some type of scarcity and exclusivity is a really big key. In order to fix this issue, there must be some form of scarcity and exclusivity built into the rhythm of Inside Out. There's no way this will completely fix the problem, but I believe it is a tremendous start. You can't always make this Sunday dramatically better than the next Sunday, but you can make this Sunday unique. You can make this week different. You may be able to offer something scarce or exclusive or even both. The most significant decline of students is during their freshman year. Therefore, part of the solution is creating something scarce and exclusive just for freshmen. I think some simple ways to really implement this solution would be to have, in the very beginning at summer kickoff, have a special summer kickoff just for freshmen to get to meet with their groups. I don't think an hour before the actual summer kickoff for all grades is enough. I think the freshmen need their own thing. I also think that quarterly, each semester, that there should be some type of dinner after Inside Out that'll kind of keep students wanting to come and keep students engaged with their small groups. Now, the second part of solving this issue, the retention rate of students, after you've created all the unique camps and events that will make Inside Out more exclusive and more scarce for students 9th through 12th grade, is to recruit excellent leaders. Now, I know you don't try to recruit bad leaders, but I counted the other day, I had 12 leaders from my 9th to 12th grade. That's awful. So we really need to be recruiting our leaders and really making them understand that this is a 4-year commitment. I know life's changed and some leaders do have to step down, but from my experience, a lot of the leaders leaving, it's because they weren't well equipped. So I think we need to create some type of new training. This past week, I served in the care room at our Inside Out Camp Daytona, and we had almost more leaders than students coming into our room just in tears because they didn't know how to walk through difficult conversations with their students. They felt ill-equipped and they felt like they were carrying all this weight on their shoulders for what their students were walking through, and they just didn't know what to do with all that information. And so we're probably going to lose a lot of those leaders because they were not prepared for this, they didn't know what to expect, and they didn't feel ill-equipped. And so if we could equip our leaders well, I think they would stay longer, which would keep our students more engaged. Right now, the training that all the leaders go through is really great. It's really detailed, but I think it's missing a really important aspect of mental health training. So many students these days are struggling with depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts and eating disorders and all these really heavy things that our leaders just don't know how to deal with. So I think we have to have some type of mental health training to prepare our leaders for the kind of things their students are going to bring up in small group and the kind of things that our students are walking. Now, you may be wondering how we're going to measure the success of this plan. In fact, it's kind of simple to measure the success of these implementations. One will know if creating scarcity and exclusivity throughout Inside Out works by looking at the retention rate. It will take probably 4, if not 8 years to get reliable data, but one will be able to look and see the trend in as little as 1 year. If this works, it will be suitable for the entire church. Children and students will start to look forward to attending Inside Out. Students will stay involved, which correlates to them being more likely to serve in another ministry in the church. And student involvement throughout Inside Out will also positively impact their parents' overall giving, which is good for all environments within the church.